So, welcome back to Aimme Ascending or Aimme Awakening or something with AA. It doesn't matter what we call it. It's just something that I named this channel a long time ago when I started it. And today I want to share with you something that I discovered years ago. Sometimes, we just need some reminders, a reminding permission slip to rediscover what we already once felt and connected with. And these permission slips, these reminders, helps us stay aware of those insights. So what I discovered to be true, when we sense the depths of the truth, we feel it. We don't know it with our intellectual mind. It's not about understanding. We just feel it. But anyway, what I've come to remember is that it doesn't matter what I do as long as I stay connected to and through the portal of the present moment, because there is where I can tap into the high vibrational, true essence of happiness and love and all those things. And that is especially true in terms of manifestation. So if you're anything like me, you want to stay connected, you need to remind yourself in this fast-paced world when it's sometimes, even for those of us, you and me, or if you're just in the beginning of the awakening journey, know it to be true when you sense it, but then it's like you forget about it, at least intellectually, because it gets hijacked and the flow from spirit gets blocked from all the clutter and noise in this physical dimension that we so often turn to as or call the reality. But when we feel that high vibrational state, when we feel aligned, that is a sign that we are connected to our higher self, to our inner self, to our true self. And when I started to realize this, when I started to sense this truth more and more, whenever I tried to apply my mind to understand it, then I got confused and I was like, yeah, but I want to manifest things. I know how to manifest. I know the formula. But if happiness is always and ever and infinite in the present moment, is there something wrong with wanting things? But that is, once again, an intellectual concept. Always try to sort and direct and store and organize. So yeah, I want to manifest things, and I do. And I've realized that we are in this journey. We are gifted to be here in our different instruments, our mind and bodies, and I like to call them equipments because I have ADHD, but I am not my ADHD. Remember, everything that we insert after I am is a construct by the mind, by our ego, that always is in this constant need of identification. So often I refer to this ADHD as the equipment of my vehicle. Maybe your equipment, your vehicle, your car has a faster engine or a better GPS or whatever. It just functions. That's the thing with the ego. Our ego mind identity. Whenever we sense this emotion, this feeling, this high vibrational light that fills our physical being, the instrument, once again, our ego does whatever it can because to transform that energy, to transform it into understanding, and or to make this piece of the truth into an intellectual belief. And that's the reason why I think that we get astray sometimes, because what we felt to be true, our ego tries to translate it, to copy it, to make a new program of it. And often we don't even notice it because the ego is pretty good at being a copycat. And I understand that what I'm about to say might sound a little bit odd, like we are two identities, but we are no identity. But this is how I described it a couple of years ago. It's like when we get this sensation, we feel this, yeah. We don't even need words for it. Because as soon as we need words, that is an identification that our ego is trying to make sense of it, trying to limit it and move it into a box so that it can store it somewhere like a belief system or use it as fuel to condition our mind. This is what I mean when I talk about this. It sounds like I am talking about some kind of disorder. And that is what I recognize in my own path so far when I felt this desire, if we should call that, but let's do it for the context. I felt this desire. I had a vision. I wanted to create something. And immediately I, created a goal. Claim it, feel it. Yeah, all those things. And that is all good. But as soon as I started to move into action towards that goal, I lost the connection with myself. And where I often ended up was feeling that the goal had become more important than the sensation, the energy flow that was the fuel to even create this goal in the first place. So there is this disconnection, this distance. So there's why I very mindfully, what I mean with mindfully, I try to connect with my inner being before using my mind consciously to remember the true flow that even got my mind to create this idea in the first place. That's where the true power lies. So if you can relate to this, receiving your desire, your dream, and feeling this, wow, yeah, wonderful. But when you start to apply the teachings of manifestation or move into action, take inspired actions, and then get lost along that journey, remember the seed, remember the energy flow that gave the idea the power in the first place. Tap into that and then keep moving and attracting the desired outcome that you want. And one way to do this is to remind yourself every day on a regular basis before you engage with anything you're doing. But for the sake of the manifestation practice, if you have a goal that you are working on, before you start doing whatever that is whatever that is revolving, set the intention. Ask yourself, why do I want this? What was the feeling? And it is not about finding an answer. It's about letting the question guide you inwards. And once you reach that vibration, don't try to translate it. Just, grab it, connect with it, and then start doing whatever is the next step towards your goal. And this is something that I need to remind myself of daily. And I often use the concept time. When I was writing my journal this summer, a lot about time, how that concept pretty much has taken over uh, how we perceive anything. We think that time is what dictates everything that we want in this life, how we plan, how we schedule our days. And I was thinking, yeah, it's just a concept. It has no power of itself. But how can I use that concept instead of letting it run, ruling me? And I'm really a nerd. I am. Did you hear me? I like to be nerdy. So I like to play with words because I do think that, once again, words is also just concepts. They have no power in of itself, but we are so programmed by them. So depending on what words we are using, so-called positive words or negative words, they pretty much determines how we feel on an unconscious level. So I made this formula, this word up, magic minute. And there is no magic to the minutes, but depending on the energy that I put into this concept, it becomes magical. I know, so cheesy, but I love cheesiness. So I use this magic minute application to remind myself to do my spiritual practice. I don't like the idea of needing anything. But since we are currently experiencing this world and reality, I use the props around me to connect with my inner being. So for at least 55 minutes in the morning, I just set the timer on my watch and do some meditation. And also, whenever I remember to, I, at work on a busy day, when you feel like I don't have time to meditate or whatever you do to connect with your true self, with your being, with the being, with awareness, I just set 1 minute on my watch, and nobody else even notice it. And I try to be real focused on the bridge beyond, within my body, to feel that vibrational portal just open and flow to and through me. I hope that you found some sparks from this video, that it ignites questions within you, because remember, because it's never about me, it's about what you find within yourselves, what you find within yourself, what spark within you. Whatever sparks within you, follow that light. That light is your guide and will guide you to the source of your being. Consider to subscribe, and see you in the next video.